Well, RunHard Brothers podcast is still a thing. I think
Yes.
our July hiatus may have made us go from tens and tens to fives and fives, but
No, it created anticipation. It may have actually built the following. And yes, July was mayhem for you, if I'm not mistaken, because I actually sent you multiple texts with "Are you good?" just to make sure that you answered, because I was getting ready to do a wellness check on you.
yeah, well, when you go off grid, it's like that. So let's. This will be kind of the catch up episode. We did the family episode, and then we did we took a little break after that one. We came back and did another one. I think this is episode 6. We said that we may have a guest on 6. We're not going to have a guest on this one. She has promised to be on. Christina is going to be on one in the near future, but she said not tonight because
People are going to just stop believing that Christina even exists because we have said she's going to be on the next one multiple times. And I mean, I know that she's exists because I was at your wedding. So
we've always said the 6th one, but we're in the middle of packing to go to Santa Rosa Beach. So
I heard there's a nice house down there.
there's a nice house. So we're going to head down to Santa Rosa Beach, but we're going to take this episode and let's just talk through the summer. There's been a lot of change. There's been a lot of change in the Moomaw household, which means your household and my household.
That's right.
As well. And so we'll talk through that, see how it impacted our running. There are some things that I have done in Chat GPT searches that I think it'd be fun to bring up. Kind of scary, kind of freaky. So we'll talk about all that. But first, let's do kind of like we've done. Talk about your last run. When's the last time you ran?
I was just looking on my sheet. So I have built a running matrix for my sheet. It's been a while. It's been almost a week since I ran. I did 5 miles here in Warrington. It was 94 degrees. So, but yeah, it's the running. The running has been a little bit of a hiatus. Seems to go in little clumps every so often. But 5 miles was the last one a couple days ago. What about you? Well, you just ran today.
I did run today, and I promised the guy that I ran with that I would call him out and talk horrible trash about him because he absolutely puts me to shame every single time we go to run. But I will say, and this maybe is one of the hooks that you got to have somebody like Steve Schweikert that calls you every week. I mean, he literally just calls me, and it's not, would you like to go running? It's, what time on Sunday are we going to meet? And and so this week, I don't know why, but there's this part of my brain is like, we're leaving Sunday to go to Santa Rosa Beach, and I know that my Santa Rosa Beach is my get right week. That's where I run all the time, and then I come back and I'm in the mood to run all week long every day. But he texted me 2 days ago or yesterday and said, "Hey, I got a gig on Sunday afternoon that I'm not going to be there. Let's run Saturday. Would 4 or 5 work better for you?" Well, if I
Well,
don't want to run on
what's
Saturday,
funny is he low key, uh, in a adjacent way affects me too because then I'm sitting in my chair over here watching TV, eating a Mars bar, and I get the Strava announcement. Cody Moomaw has just finished a run, and I'm like, oh, that guy, he just went out. I need to go run because now Cody's run. Now that pressure's on me to run, and it all starts with that guy. So
now
I'm gonna talk junk
always
about
look
him
at you.
too.
I always look at you. I'm like, Rice is 5 years older than me, so I got at least 5 years where I don't have an excuse to say that I'm too old to run or anything. Steve is he's 11 and a half years older than me, and so when he asked me to go, I mean, at first I'm like, yeah, sure, and I said, how fast do you run? He's like, I don't know. I'm like,
Anytime they say I don't know, then you might as well count on it breaking you
well,
because
he's like, I don't use a watch. I just run. And I'm like, how far? And he goes, I run from the love sign down at the riverside all the way to the back. And I'm like, see, that's like 6 miles, which I'm fine with. I mean, I'm fine with. I'm like, you don't know how fast you run that? He goes, no clue.
You
I
know, it's
just
the same thing as if you ask somebody like, how well do you play golf? And they're like, I just like to beat it around. You're going to lose to them. You're going to
yeah.
lose to them.
So the first time I got out and ran with him, um, he was fast. I mean, he's easily running just his normal Sunday evening runs 2 minutes a mile faster than I've been running. And he looks at me and he goes, "Come on, Cody, you got it in you. You can do it." The crazy thing is, I did. I mean, I crawled on my hands and knees back in the truck, but I did it. Um, but no, it's been good. But today it was funny. We got out and we ran, and then jumped back to episode 4 or whatever it was. Dad called me like 3 or 4 times at the 3rd mile marker. I was like, "Hey man, we gotta stop for a second. I gotta answer the phone." And then Dad took a few minutes to ask me one question, and then he hung up on me and didn't call me back anymore. Then Steve just asked me about Dad, and so we walked for half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, and there's part of me in my head. I'm like, we're about to hit mile 4. I'm like, maybe we're walking all the way back. And he looks and goes, "Okay, we've taken enough time off. Now you're going to run my pace." And I think we did 8:58 for the last mile.
Yeah, I looked at your thing. I Strava stalked you, and
And I hit mile 5. We're about half a mile from the end. And I was like, I may be out of gas. And so we stopped. He walked a little bit. He goes, "I'm going to jog the rest of the way." And I was like, shoot, I've already hit stop.
you can't keep going.
If I run, it's not going to be recorded and nobody will know. But no, that's a good practice, I think, too, every once in a while, is just to run and not have it recorded. And remember that the thing that's most important to
Disagree.
recording it.
I disagree. I don't think my feet will work. I don't think my feet will work.
If it's not recorded. But it helps with your mind that the thing that's recording it that's important is your body. Your body knows what's going on. And so I really did. I probably ran 11 minutes, 12-minute mile for that last half mile. Came in and got done. And yeah, it's like I told you. You're like, "How was your run?" I hated it, loved it, because at the end of the day, because I know he's going to be down there waiting for me, and we're trying to get that routine of, if I miss every run in a week, I know I'm getting one in, and it's cool. Steve is somebody that I knew when I was 16, 17, 18 years old. He was a young adult at that point. I mean, he was in his mid-20s, and mid to late 20s. But he took an interest in me when I was working at Domino's, and I had to work Domino's to put clothes on my back and to help mom and to eat food and all those things. And there's a lot of kids that go into jobs like that and they just do enough just to get by. Steve was there. He's this guy that was hustling, man. But this is before DoorDash, before Uber Eats, all this stuff.
This is before you had GPS. Domino's, get it there in 30 minutes with an atlas.
We literally had paper maps in our car. And
I think we talked about this before, but stoplights didn't matter to you. So
no. And the thing is, we had this map up on the wall in Domino's, and Steve taught me how to, as I would look at all the pizzas that had to go out, I could literally set 12 pizzas up and have everybody
Jason
routed.
Bourne.
Yeah, I know. And then I would take off and I would go. But he taught me how to do well at that. So it's kind of cool that we've reconnected since being back here. And then he's somebody that he's a little bit older than me, and it's fun to run, and he talks theology, we talk sports, we talk all this stuff, and all of a sudden on a run where I probably would have mailed it in and run an easy 3 to 4 miles, I'm running 5 and taxed at the end of it. So now I just need to get my weekly runs in, and
those won't hurt as bad. You know what? I want to bring up a subject here because I had this discussion with the owner of the company that I'm at. He runs with a group every week. Him and his wife. He either runs with his wife. They're training for a marathon, or they run with a running group here in Missouri. And he asked me, he's like, "What's the group that you run with?" And I started really starting to think about the fact that, and I went to Strava and I looked, and it says I have like 2,400 recorded runs on Strava, right? So 2,400 times I've laced up and gone out according to the Orange website. So I started writing down my running partners, people that I have run with, like gone out to run, and it is ridiculously small. There's Andrea, my wife. There's Christina, your wife. There's you. There's my son, my son Caleb, and my daughter Grace, who have sporadically over the years, one or two times. Then it doesn't. I don't. I don't know who else have run. Like I think Carter ran with me one time, 2 miles. Your son.
Right.
Can you imagine that? That over the last 2,400 runs, I bet 2,000 of them have been by myself.
Yeah.
That was nuts for me to think about. And
Right. I would say probably more than that.
maybe, yeah,
Because that'd be even saying 400 runs with people.
yeah,
I know that out of all the runs that I've done, I've run with people a lot more than you have.
yeah,
Because
yeah. I mean,
when I was in Gastonia, um, Justin ran with me. He's a guy in my neighborhood, was a basketball coach that served in our student ministry, but we lived 2 blocks from each other. And it was again that same thing. I wake up, shoot, I gotta go run because Justin's gonna be outside.
right. And I
And
just thought about the fact that I guess that's just been a thing. Like I don't know. I, I don't even know how to like. I don't even know what the point of the conversation is. Just the fact that it's over 12. I think it says on. I call it the
well,
Orange
here's
website.
why though. Here's why, and this is we talk about change of life
Yeah,
is that maybe this is something that you're coming into is that you ran in a different city every week.
right. I was
Um,
always on the road traveling by myself, and so I've now been invited to join a running group, and I'm like, I don't know. Am I how I have to talk to people while I run because
well, that's the thing.
I guess I
You
would be labeled as a running introvert. Like, right? I don't even listen to music. Like I'm just like all up
right.
in my head.
Yeah, no, and that's the weird thing. And I told Steve this when he first asked me to go run. There's a part of me because I am an introvert, which is really weird as a youth pastor, and running the majority of my time running is by myself and on my routes. I really do enjoy that.
Yeah,
Thinking to myself and just centering my thoughts and spending time in prayer and doing all the things that the idea of meeting somebody to go running, first of all, it's who's going to match pace. Like Steve runs faster
right.
than me. So I know the whole time, like he's dialed back. And so part of me is like messed up by that. Like at the end, I'm like, you can go ahead and run. The second thing is, man, do we have to have conversation the entire time?
Right.
And so
Like that is
finding
way
somebody that you
uncomfortable
do have
or
a conversation you enjoy talking to, but there's also let's just run. Let's
plus
just
I want to be clear, there are points in my runs where I'm dying. And I don't think that I can have a conversation
that was me
about
then.
how the game was last night.
Right.
Because here, I'll give you a perfect example. To get this ankle fixed, right? That I went to this doctor and he was amazing, but he would do this thing called scraping or whatever. And people have heard of
Gosh.
this,
Yeah.
but he is a licensed, this is like his specialty, right? So he is doing some damage on me. And the whole time he's having this conversation about going to watch his nephew graduate from high school and da 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 da. And I am dying laying on the table. I am in grown man pain tears, right? And
Hmm.
All of a sudden he says, "How you doing?" And I'm like, "Bro, I'm in a lot of pain right now." Now this guy is a triathlete. This doctor's a triathlete. He's run 25 marathons, the whole thing. The man shut up. He didn't say another word for the next 10 minutes until he said 10 seconds and he counted it down. He did what a runner needs to hear, right? But he shut up. I'm worried that if I go out and run in a group, that I'm going to be at that point. Remember, I label pain in a run. I have three labels of pain. Okay. I have the pain that I expect, and it kind of is, I don't really mind it. It kind of lets me know I'm alive and I'm okay, right? Then there's the pain, the next level of pain in which I am hurting, but I accept it. I'm not happy about it. I really am mad about it, but I accept it. Then there's the third level, which makes me want to quit running forever. And I don't ever, and it is that point that I do not want to talk to somebody. What if they don't recognize it? What if
Well,
I'm in a
you
group of
gotta you gotta
20?
figure that if there are enough of runners to want to be in a group, they're also going to understand that.
But maybe their reaction to pain is to talk a lot.
Right.
Now,
It could also be that it's there are times, uh-oh, pastor and me starting to get up. There
yeah,
are times when you're in pain, you need somebody to draw you up and say, I mean, literally today, when we started the fifth mile, got done mile 4, we started the fifth mile, we were running. I looked down and I said, man, we're at 10:09 a mile, and we're at 9:45 per mile. We're at 9:30, and he just kind of laughed, and he stayed just a quarter of a step ahead of me. And I looked down, and when we hit 8:58 a mile, there was part of me that was like, slow down. And he's like, and he looked at me, and as genuine and as serious he can be, he goes, man, you make this look easy. And what was funny is I looked because I knew how I felt, but I also was like, actually, I'm doing pretty well. And I, and so there's two parts that having him there today, I was like, I know that I went farther and ran faster because he's there, because we were talking,
right?
and there was just a like, I don't want to just talk about nothing,
Right.
but like, he was genuinely interested in what's going on, and I'm asking him questions about stuff that I thought, man, maybe we'll turn it 2 miles and get 4 out of the day. I looked down and we were at 2.75 miles. I'm like, Steve, you snuck it. He goes, no, you're just doing so good. You didn't even know. I said, no, I feel it. I know. I said, but he goes, sometimes you just got to have somebody else there. He goes, because
Well,
in your own brain, you would have convinced yourself to quit. So, I mean, I ended up probably running 5.5, five
right.
and three quarters total. I mean, only recorded 5, so there's no proof of it whatsoever. Um, but I think in life too, like, I mean, this is what
Yeah.
I'm teaching our kids about community in our student ministry. Like, we're not meant to go through life alone. You go through stuff, and it stinks, and it's awful. I struggle because I like to be by myself, but having somebody to pick you up and go, hey, you can do more.
I
Um,
agree. Ran the Portland Marathon with my friend Devin.
what up, Devin? Does she even watch this?
I don't know. What's up, girl? And she's a great runner. And she was pacing me. And at mile 21 or 22, I hit that wall, and it was ugly. It got hot. And she drugged me to the finish line, and I almost maintained my pace. There's the perfect example of I was done at 22. I would have walked that in, but and so I'm very interested, and I'm very grateful that I've been that he put out there that, hey, would maybe you would like to join the group. But I was hesitant because I have coping mechanisms to my pain. I have
Yeah.
coping mechanisms to my exhaustion.
But when
Uh,
you do it, I'm telling you, you're gonna get out there, and it's a struggle. Like even when I'm driving, and I know that I love hanging out with Steve, I still have that thing of I should just run by myself.
mhm.
Until I'm out there and I see him, and we fist bump, and like, I'll stretch a little bit, and I feel his body language like, let's go. And then suddenly we're in it, and I'm like, this is awesome. Like this is awesome. Except at the end when I said I hate you and I'm going to talk bad about you the whole time on the
Well,
podcast.
think about, the greatest marathon to ever be run, the RunHard Brothers Marathon. Like, you know,
You would have never made it without me, bro. Never.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. So translated over into life, and we talked about how running is really is like a commentary on our life in life as well. I had an entire career come to an end, um, and I went into that area by myself. And if I had been there by myself without anybody, I would have dealt with the pain probably in the worst ways, but I didn't. I had Andrea, and she was my running partner. And she's like,
Hmm.
come on, let's keep going. Let's do more. And she, I wouldn't have gotten to the finish line to where I'm at right now without her. So if I look at it that way, I see the benefit in it. I, I just don't know how I'm going to do it when I got to stand there with a group of a whole bunch of people and run, but
You'll
I'm willing to try it. I can't. I actually am looking forward to giving it a shot.
do they where do they road run? Where do they run? Do they run at a park or where?
Yeah, I mean, they run on Katy Trail. Run.
How far do they run?
They. I don't know all the details yet. I
They
do
break
know that
up into distance. Who's running what?
yeah,
And
and people they have certain places they're going to be at a certain time, and I think like this morning there was a group that there was a group that was running 20 miles and 16 miles and 8 miles, and people join at certain points, and they have different speeds. And honestly, I don't know the logistics of running with a group. I've often heard about these group runs, and I'm like, how does that work out? So it'll be something. How funny is it to have run 13,000 miles or whatever it is and not understand the logistics of a running group? How singularly focused have I been for the last decade,
we got a whole new area to explore in running.
I mean,
Um,
but think about it. I've run with you, I've run like and it's always been family. I surely have not run with people that I vaguely know, except when I run a marathon. Is I would be like I would do exactly what you said. Do I have to talk to him right now? Is this silence? Is this awkward silence? Do I have to come up with a subject? Does he know that right now my heart is beating in my brain and my lungs have
well,
stopped working
this
and
is
I
where you got
got
to be
to sit
vulnerable
there?
with people and stuff. Like for me, I'm with Steve. I'm always just like, hey, my heart rate's up more than I want it to be. I'm gonna slow down, and he'll slow down with me. And that's the you'll find people within the group that you get along with, and I don't know. It's
Or it's
and
going to
like
be an abject disaster and I'm going to go running back to running by myself as an introvert. I don't know.
you got to give it more time though,
Okay.
because I mean you got to you
You hear the
literally have.
nervousness in my
I know.
I've been thinking about it since he asked me on Friday afternoon. I've been like,
But like correlate that with life again though is when we struggle with stuff when we tend to not want to let people in.
mm-hmm.
That's why and as guys I think that we're the worst at doing it. That's why all of these commercials and all these things of get help, talk to somebody, bring somebody in is because you talk every marathon I've run, I've thrown up a whole bunch, and it's yeah. Um, but at the Muddy River Marathon, I mean the when I struggled, there's that one lady. I don't know if it was a girl or a lady or somebody came, literally grabbed me by my back and picked me up and like got me going again. I don't know who that was.
Of
She's of course probably one of the people watching this. She's gonna be like, "Oh, that was me."
course, because one of the tens, one of the
Yeah,
tens, the tens.
one of the tens. Um, but in life, I mean, that's where running really does, and sports does this, and Scripture actually talks a lot about sports in these correlations because you get to that point where you can't go on. Sometimes it's that voice that reminds you, yes, you can. You can go further. So I think that's cool. So talk a little bit about you said, I mean, we said we're going to talk a little bit about the change, and
Yeah,
uh, I'll share a little bit about uh, July 2025 for me. You were the world traveler runner, and now
I
you're
did.
not
Spent
as much.
I spent 20 years traveling. I mean, 150 nights on the road on average. It kind of came to an end in February. I kind of was lost there for a little while. I hopped in the car and drove to your house. I drove 12 hours to your house just because I needed to hang out with my brother. Andrea shoved me in the car and said, "Go to your brother's house. Just go see your brother." But I have found a great guy has run a successful business here in Missouri, and we were a good fit. And I have in my when it was kind of backwards. I was almost interviewing them, deciding whether or not I wanted to go work there. And he was a great salesman, but in a first conversation I had, and he owns this company, is I found out he was a runner. And as runners do, the meeting about business and serious things and budgets and this and all that just all went away. And for an hour, we talked about running and shoes and marathons and trail running. And the next thing I know, I'm driving home going, did I just do an interview or did I just talk running with another runner for an hour? And lo and behold, um, and I'm there. And so what's crazy is I thought that I was going to miss traveling. See, I thought I was going to miss going to the airport every Monday, being in a hotel every night because that has been my life. And you know what? I don't miss it a bit. It's unbelievable. Now, I had to sit down with Andrea and say, I want to be clear. Are we good with this? Because you're going to see me every single night. Like I'm
Yeah, because
just
this
going
was
to be here.
2 decades of.
Yeah. 2 decades, 20 years of packing my entire life into a weekend, right? Everything. I had to mow the lawn. I had to see mom. I had to go out to dinner. Everything was in the weekend. And I said, look, you are going to see me every night and every morning. I'm just going to be here. I'm just going to be here. I'm going to be like, hey, how you doing, hon? I'm still here. And she was like, I'm good with it. And it has been great. It has been we've gone to lunch on a Tuesday, or dinner on a Tuesday evening. Like that doesn't happen. Lloyd, the magnificent Lloyd, which is my father-in-law, he loves it because I swing by his house in the evenings and stop and help him do this and mow his lawn and sit and talk and watch 1950s westerns uh, in the evening. And so life has life has
We need to
changed.
have Lloyd on for a segment.
Oh my gosh. We need to
That would
wait
be so
until we
great.
have hundreds and hundreds because that will make us go viral.
That will make us go viral. So
Quick Lloyd story with like Zoom or like what we're doing here. During COVID, when we were home nonstop and we were down at the beach, right? Lloyd was with us down at the beach. And so you guys all know Lloyd is my 85-year-old father-in-law, and he is the most interesting man in the world. Like
it's hard. It's hard to describe. He's
it's
amazing.
hard to describe, but he is awesome to be around. And so Lloyd was at the house with us during COVID. And because we obviously couldn't go anywhere, we did meetings every day with all my sales team from around the country, or it was over Zoom or over Teams or whatever it was. And he would be sitting in the background listening to these meetings. He thought it was so interesting to be listening to these meetings. And we would get off and he would talk to me about these meetings. Well, he would listen to all these guys talk. And after a while, he started to have his favorites. And so he would tell me, that Pedro, man, that's a good guy. I really like him. So it was great. Well, one day, I'm having a serious conversation, and there's 30 people on the screen. And up behind me, I realized that Lloyd is walking up behind me. Now, Lloyd was not understanding the dynamics of Zoom. And he points at the screen and says, tell me who Pedro is. He's my favorite. 30 people on the screen just bust out because Lloyd has no idea. So Pedro raises his hand. I make Pedro spotlight. Lloyd's like, how you doing, buddy? Not knowing that everybody else is listening. It was one of the greatest moments of COVID that I have ever had. But I get to go see him in the evenings. The cats are like, oh, human number two might be okay. We'll keep him around. So, um, and but it's kind of taken a little bit for me to get into a routine of running because that's such odd. It sounds crazy to people because people laugh at me because I'm like, this commuting thing is fun. Like you just drive the same way every day to work and you can listen to podcasts, like to what other people think is very normal, to me is very crazy. Like just the whole idea. And so the running part of it is I had such a routine of getting back to the hotel and not having anything, right? I just have a hotel room. So just go run and nobody cares. Well, I want to get home. I want to sit and talk to Andrea. I want to talk about her day. I want
Pet
to,
the cat.
yeah, there's this life that I didn't know existed that happened after 5 o'clock. Like in my world, I got back to the hotel. I might not say another word to a human till the next day. Now, Andrea and I sit out on the porch, out on the deck, look at the lake, and talk for hours. And then I'm like, I'll go run later, right? So I put up on the board. I don't know if anybody can see it, but the Mo Cowbell is in October. I said I need to get some dedication. I saw Cody run today, and I need to find my running rhythm at home when I never travel anymore. So there you go. That's a long-winded answer to I don't travel anymore. I drive the same place every day, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's like this whole new thing for me. The people at work think it's hilarious because
Do you
I've
ever drive by
here for
Lambert Airport and go, oh,
no, but I've had to drop Andrea off a couple times, and I'm like,
she's the one leaving now.
good
She's
luck.
like, man, he's staying. Somebody got a conference for me to go to.
I no, when we went on our trip, when we went on our cruise, and we got to the airport, I'm like, I don't miss this at all. But the
Yeah.
people at work think it's hilarious because I've lived in the St. Louis area now for what, 18 years?
Now you're
I
just
don't know
starting to
anything around
discover.
it. They're like, we're introducing you to St. Louis. I've been here 18 years. I don't even. My friend Tom, who is, do you have I ever introduced?
Stop, stop, stop.
My
For
friend Tom,
context, every single time, for how long have you known Tom?
a
For
long time. Tom is my best friend.
every single time, and I've met Tom. I've been to his house. Hey, this Tom, he's my friend. We go on cruises with him. It's
So Tom's my best friend, and so Tom and I get tickets to go to the Cardinals game, and we go down to the Cardinals game, and we're just having a great old time. And I look at Tom, I'm like, Tom, why don't we do this more often? Why haven't we always been coming to Cardinals days? It only took us 45 minutes to get here. He just looked at me. He's like, because you get on an airplane every Monday morning and you're never home. And I'm like, oh, now been to like 5 Cardinals games, and they're not even my team.
fair. I was gonna say, to be fair, you've had to question whether it's a minor league team or not because it's not the Yankees.
Yeah,
Um,
you can't see this if you're not watching, but Yankees.
which,
But
by the
yes,
way, you stink because my son, who's sitting right over there, um, lives and breathes every day. It's Mom, the Yankees are going to
yes.
lose again.
You know
Like
what?
Christina knows more about baseball because he whines about the Yankees or he
I
cheers
love
about
that
the
boy.
Yankees.
I love
He
that
laid down
boy.
a parlay. Was that yesterday, Carter? Laid down a parlay, a $9 parlay that could have turned into what? $210, and it had like 6 legs on it. And the only thing that I mean, he got them all except the Yankees lost in extra innings.
It's okay, Carter. It's okay. And Carter, I love you, Bo. You're the
But he
best.
he doesn't care because as of this, the filming of this right here, the set it's the second game, right? Huh? It's the first Jets preseason
Preseason.
game. Justin Fields comes out. They dominated, and literally the first drive down, it's like a 70-yard drive. Fields runs it in from what, about 15 yards out? And Carter's up. He goes, Super Bowl, baby. We're going to the Super Bowl. He's posted it on the social media. He's following everybody that goes, don't get my hopes up. And as the game comes to an end, he's like, Mom, this is really bad. I have hope.
Well, we all should have hope, and I always have hope in you, Bo. I know you can't. I don't know if you can hear me, but that's my
He
dude.
can. You can hear him, right?
That's my dude. Talladega's coming, bro. All
Hey,
right. So,
we need to do a 3-person. We
Yeah, we
need to
have.
have him on the podcast at Talladega and have it be a special NASCAR edition.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's for the next thing.
Bonus
So,
if we can get media press passes and driver interviews.
well, when they see the extent of our following and the influence that we have through this
That's
podcast,
right.
they're going to be like, "Sir, Dale Jr. would like to meet you. He'd like
Of
you to be
course.
on. He'd like you to be on Dirty Mo because they need to get their ratings up." That's what's going to
Right.
happen.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that
think
might have
that
been a little extreme.
I
I'm
think
sorry,
that's
and Junior,
correct.
if you heard that, I apologize. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
so that's life has changed, and I will tell you that I wake up excited to do this job. I absolutely haven't felt like this kind of creative excitement about it, and so it has. And Andrea found it. Andrea is the one that got it, and there it is. If I did this on my own, I would still be sitting in a.
Telling
That's
you, I'm telling you, having that running partner and life running partner. I mean,
yeah.
we can. We'll have to have Chris and Andrea on the podcast at some point.
We don't even need to be on it then.
Yeah.
So anyway,
No.
that is what my summer has been. It is kind of knocked me off kilter on my running schedule, but I'm excited because I kind of have figured it out. I really like. I sat and and you're always excited when you put a schedule together because you have that feeling like you've already done it, right? Like I'm going to do it. Well, you still got to wake up and go run. You have to execute now. You put this plan together. Now you got to execute. Um, and I'm looking forward to getting out. I got 5 miles to run on Monday, so I'm gonna take off and uh, and do it. Get up at 4:30 and go run before that sun gets up because the Missouri heat's been bad. So now, flip side, like I said, I was doing wellness checks on Cody in July. Um, I sent out. I was just looking through my text messages, and it was like it would be text messages to Caleb or to Cody. Caleb is my son, uh, but it's text messages of, "Okay, you're still alive. Good. Hey, bro, you good? Yep." And so that was what I was. So
Well, that's about
what?
all I had.
Yeah.
Uh, no, mine started in June. My dive into barely existing outside of what was right in front of me started in June. We had Vacation Bible School mid June after schools got out, and we had 1,000 kids come to, and these are elementary age kids. And
Oh my
so
gosh, thousand
our
personalities.
yeah, our students they all volunteer in that, and so that's big. But that leads right into our mission trip, and I think we talked mission trip.
Yeah, we did Guatemala. Yep.
Yeah, we went to Guatemala, and I did get to run down there once. Oh yeah, because I talked about the dog. The dog ran with me. But still, that's one thing after another. And we come back, and it's July 4th week. And if you know anything about Lynchburg, the fireworks display in Central Virginia happens on our campus, and so we had 10, 15,000 people come to that. Which I'm not responsible for the execution of it, but we do things with our students in the middle of that, leading up to that. Plus, we were gearing up for camp season.
Oh yeah.
The week after the 4th, our church has a camp up in the mountains. It's about 40 minutes from here, and it's where I ran that Happy Camper 5K we talked about. That was
Right.
1,000 feet up, and all. And so I actually spoke at that camp, not for our students, for 3 other churches that were there. So I was up in the mountains all that week, and I came back, and then our children's camp for our elementary school students is right across the mountain from the church, and I spoke all that next week at that camp,
Mhm.
and Michelle was a counselor in training there, so that was kind of cool to be speaking at a camp where she's at. Then we came back and
Michelle's your
literally,
youngest, just so we could say EB, as I like to call her.
yeah, literally dump clothes in the washer, dry them, fold them, put them back in, because the next week we took our high schoolers to camp up on the
Ish.
mountain. So I was going all that week, and then we come back, dump it in, and then our middle schoolers go to camp. Now the middle school week, I didn't stay overnight up there, but I was up there 3 out of the 4. And the day I wasn't is the day we had our summer high school bowling night. And we had like 150 kids show up to a bowling alley that's supposed to have a max number of like 78 or 80 in there. And so we had them all out and all over the place. So it was, I mean, it was great. We just had our what we call say-so night this last week, where I mean that part of summer is coming to the end. We're switching and turning towards the fall. But we have a night where we sit all the students down. We choose about 8 or 9 students to kind of get up and give testimony about what the summer was like. And even that, we just, I mean, it's the coolest thing in the world to be in a place where there's no church going on Wednesday night. Literally the only thing happening on our church campus is student ministry. And we had 400 show up. Like, come middle of the summer, people still on vacation, and they came and showed up. So that was kind of cool. But I had to make a decision when I was up at camp, because beautiful place to run, but you're so busy during the day. And so the first day that I was up there, I got 19,000 steps, and these are up and down hills and all over the place. And I mean, it was crazy. And you know, just having talked to a lot of people, a lot of what we do is it's yeah, I like to run, but it's also about time on your feet.
Right.
And so if I'm running just to be able to put on Strava, hey, I ran this day to keep a streak
Right.
going or whatever, that's not the reason I should do it. It's to stay healthy. And I was 19,000 one day. I had 24,000, and so I just made this thing that said if I get over, think I said 12,500 steps in a day. On the mountain up at camp, I'm not running the next morning, because my priority is being up there for camp. Like, that's why I run, is so that when I'm in situations where I'm doing ministry, that I'm able to do the 25,000 steps in a day and be able to survive through the week. I
And
got
you're
home.
sure you didn't use that as an excuse? It should have been
Dude,
15,000 steps.
it was, I mean, it was close to 120,000 steps or something like that at the end of the week. And I will say, I got back and made sure everybody got back home. I came and sat down on the couch. Christine had to run and go do something. And next thing I know, I was on the couch pillow with slobber coming out of my mouth. I was, but you know, it's cool. Like I said, as a family, it's been an incredibly busy summer. Everybody kind of going here and there doing these things. We're gonna kind of all focus, except for Mia. Mia can't go with us to Florida because she's working. But I'm gonna go sit on the front porch down there. I personally don't care about a beach, but I will hit the beach some. But that front porch with those Adirondack chairs is where I'm gonna spend the better part of 5 or 6 days, kind of recenter. And we're already in the process of planning a really busy fall, working with the high school football team here, and of course doing our tailgates. Me and Todd, the Bucket Hat Brothers tailgate.
Right. I want to get over for one of those games, by the way. So I need
Oh my
to.
gosh. If you can be here September 27th, I forget if it says 27th, it's something like that. It's a JMU is coming down here, and I believe that it's going to be the largest attended Liberty University football game in history, even more so than when Brigham Young came.
That's
JMU. I'm not a fan of JMU. I mean, I have a lot of great, wonderful friends that went there. You know, but they're an in-state school, and they talk a lot of junk about us. We talk a lot of junk about them. But the one thing that they do, they sell out their home games. They got like 25,000 people come to their home games.
So they travel well too, because
They
it's not that
travel,
far.
dude. They travel. They're an hour and a half from here.
Yeah, it's
Like
not that.
when you drive around Lynchburg, you see JMU stickers on the back of people's cars. I know our upper decks. We could probably sell our tickets for several $100. Which is, I mean, it's Liberty University. I mean, can you imagine that? You remember going to football games when you were at school?
I remember City Stadium.
Yeah, if you would have said, you know, someday down the road you could put your tickets up for sale to a Flames game for $350, people would have what?
We
you
didn't
know.
even have to have tickets for some of the games. Like they just
Yeah.
were like, so yes, yes, that would be
So,
something. Well, that's
so
cool.
it's a busy time, but like I said, Santa Rosa, that's the get right week for me running. Every single time that I've gone to the beach, that's where I've established the routine that I carry in the fall. It usually fades in April and May when things get summer kind of busy. So I actually look forward to it because I also know that means I'm going to drop about 20 pounds. And that'll be fun.
Right. That's right. I know. I worked so hard to lose that weight, and man, that thing came back with a vengeance.
So I guess we got to get back in the rhythm of doing these as
Yep.
well. And so we'll post it. It is we're recording this on a Saturday night after Christine and I. Oh, we've got our show for the week down at your place down there.
Okay.
Manifest. Dude,
Manifest. Very good.
dude, the
I
airplane.
just finished Ballard, which is a spin-off of Bosch. And
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I was just pleased. In fact, when you text me and said, "Hey, 30 minutes," I checked and I had 40 minutes left in the final episode, and I'm like, he's going to have to wait because
Right. Well, we were watching. We were right at the end of the show, and Christina goes, "We'll watch one more."
well, and just so everybody knows is that if you're listening to this, this is what it would sound like if Cody and I were just FaceTiming each other. This would be one of the because our FaceTimes have zero structure, but we do get on tangents on one subject, i.e., Reist is at home and commutes now, and what does that mean if he has to run with somebody? And I
Hey,
don't.
that was part of my structure. That was part of my plan the whole time.
Well, I will tell you this, and not that I think that anybody at my work listens to my podcast, but
Yeah.
if
Do a promo.
anybody in the St. Louis area does, and you're part of the Fleet Feet group, or I would be very interested in how the logistics are because I want to make sure that I like don't mess everything up. Like I don't want to show up and be like, I don't want at the end when like they all go for coffee, they're all like, I hope he doesn't sit with us. I don't
Look,
want that.
look. I think you'll be fine. If Steve wants to run with me after running together for the last 6 to 8 weeks, I think we're fine. You'll be good.
It's just a lot easier running with you because I can just tell you to shut up and just stop giving me a history lesson,
Like
Cody Lee.
I. What's funny is you would have laughed. We ran through the train tunnel the other day.
You mean the
So
one that was from 1852 and Confederate and Union?
hey, you remembered 1852? That's funny. It was funny. We start running through, and Steve looked at me. He goes, "I wonder when they built this." I said, "Let me tell you."
I would have told him, stop, don't let him do this to you.
Yeah, but all right. Well,
I
what
think
they
that's
don't
it.
know is we also talked for 20 minutes before this, and
I
it
know
was
we should
really
have turned the camera on
it
then.
was probably a lot more interesting than what we just did. But thanks for hanging with us. It's really cool.
Yeah, it was
Those
good.
of you that hang with us, we love you guys. We'll have a lot of running content next time, probably.
Yep. We'll be a little more organized. We can talk about what our future goals are, like what do we have on our schedule? What are we running towards?
Yeah.
Uh,
Um, oh,
and
you know what I
Ramona,
didn't do?
Ramona is coming
We'll
to.
push this off to next time. I had a conversation with ChatGPT the other day based on a Facebook reel I saw that seemed very apocalyptic, very dystopian type, scary type thing. I'm like, you did not. And I had a conversation that started the same way, bro. Like it is next level, but I'm not going to share it with you till
Okay, don't
next time.
share it. And
We'll
then
start out with that one. It will freak you out. It'll really freak you out. It's crazy.
look at you got me working with AI, and now I work with it, and it does.
ChatGPT 5 just came out, and I
I
love it.
know. I
Look,
saw it. It popped up. And I started to say, and then I cut you off, but I want to make sure that if Ramona listens, Ramona is our cousin. Ramona is coming to Missouri to run the Mo Cowbell as well. So
I think Ramona should come to Virginia to run the Virginia 10 miler.
Ramona was tired of me texting nonstop, going, "Are you coming? Aren't you coming? Don't you want to come down here?" And finally, she was like, "Oh my goodness, Rice, I'm coming." So anyway, Ramona's a good running partner. Uh, she's come and run a few marathons and half marathons with us. So she is our she is the running member of our family that's in the cousin realm. So there we go.
Nice.
All right.
All right, Dan. Well, that's all we got for tonight. It is now Sunday. We started this on Saturday, and it's now Sunday here. Not for you.
Well,
Not
that's
for
good.
you.
That's good. You can do the Sunday Wordle then. So
That's true.
I gotta
That's true.
wait.
All right. Well, I probably ought to get to bed because I get to do baptisms tomorrow. We got 5 people we're baptizing in the morning, so it's gonna be
Awesome.
great.
Sounds good. Well, we end it every week or every time, and I don't want to ever not because I think it's important that we do turn our goals into accomplishments, and we do that by running hard and always finishing. And apparently, go find someone to run with. It's worth it. So they'll push you to the finish line, or they'll drag you, or they'll hold your hair back if you're throwing up. So there's that. So
We don't have hair. What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I gotta
All
go.
right, fam. Deuces. We're out.
See ya.